Hello all, Les from Future FX here again, taking you through a new pip calculator that I've come across thanks to one of our members that can calculate lot sizes for not only Forex pairs, but for indices, metals, crypto and everything as well. And it can create the precise lot size you need based off a risk percentage as well. So it makes the whole process a lot easier for us. And I think it'll take a lot of the confusion out for a lot of you guys. So let me share my screen here. This is that pip calculator. And that's up the top there. That is the link to it. I'll put the link to this calculator in the description of the video as well, though, of course. And so I think we're all really happy with trying to calculate using the other pip calculator the lot size we need to use for any of the Forex pairs. That's quite simple. The issue is trying to work it out for indices and crypto and gold, any of the metals. And the reason that is because the contract size from one broker to the next can be quite different. And a generic calculator generally doesn't let you do that. But this one down here, if you have a look, allows you to enter the contract size and bring that calculation into it as well. So I'm going to bring up a MT4 platform. And in this case, it's a Pepperstone account I'm logged into. Don't worry about the brand of the MT4 platform. Just you have to look at what the account is that you're logged into. And in this case, it's Pepperstone. So I want to find out, I'm using a Pepperstone account. I want to use Trend Trader, for example, but any other EA as well, on UF30, and I want to calculate the precise lot size I need to use to incur a certain risk. So I'm going to find UF30 here, and I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to come down to specifications. I'm looking for contract size. Contract size is 1. Okay, so remember that. The contract size on Pepperstone is 1. So I'm going to duck back to the pip calculator. Now, with the settings, I'll go through all the settings for you first. Obviously, you select the instrument, which in this case is UF30. It's very easy to select. You can just type it in and then, just select it. You can select a whole range of other currencies. So I'm going to select AUD because I'm an Aussie. Stop loss in pips. Okay, so getting back to Future FX softwares, depending on the broker you've been using, you've been either putting in 3,300 for the stop loss on UF30 with Trend Trader anyway, or you've been putting in 33,000. Okay, one or the other. It doesn't matter which one of those you're using, you want to put it in here at 330 pips. Yeah, just enter in your account balance. I've gone with 10,000. For this particular exercise, when you're trying to calculate the lot size you should use, always just have 1 here because we're going to be working out the order size based off one whole pip, 1 pip size. Okay, so always just have 1 in there. And the risk, you can set the risk as either an AUD value because that's what we've selected up here, or simply as a percentage. And I'll find the percentage is going to be pretty handy for us. And that way, as your account balance starts to grow, you might get up to 10,400. So you can put 10,400 in here and calculate the exact lot size you need to still incur a simple 2% risk. It automatically fills in the AUD USD conversion rate there. I guess you could check that to make sure it's basically right. Contract size, remember we just checked that on our Pepperstone account and the contract size was just 1. So after you filled that all in like that, we just need to click calculate. And it's telling us here that the lot size we need is 0.403. Now, listen to this because this is very important. be aware that when you're entering a trade on the MT4 platform, you can only enter a lot size up to 2 decimal places. If you enter 3 decimal places, like it's saying here, it will cause an issue. Most likely you won't get any trades. So you'll need to round it up or down to just 2 decimal places. So in this case, I would say I would enter the lot size of 0.40. That's what I would put in my software settings as the order size. And that would incur a risk, every time I hit my stop loss, I would lose $200, which is 2% of 10,000, 2%. Perfect. That worked that out nicely. Now let's jump across to a different broker. So now I'm with LaCroix FX. So that's the broker that we're using with Concept Trader. I've got DJ30 up because that's what they call UF30, DJ30. So I'm going to come across here to DJ30. I'm going to right click, go to specifications and find contract size. Contract size is 10. So 10 times as large as with Pepperstone. So that's going to mean we need a much smaller lot size. So let's go back to our calculator, remembering that the contract size is now 10. So there are no results for DJ30, but we can just use UF30. You just need to know that that is the same thing. Okay, everything else is the same. We're just using a different broker. We have the same balance, same trading instrument, same currency. We still want to work out a 2% risk. All we need to change is the contract size. We need to make that 10 and then click calculate. So now we can see what we would need to enter into the Trend Trader settings as the order size will be 0.04, only to 2 decimal places. That's important. So 0.04 is what you would put into the settings. And, that would incur a loss of $200, which is 2%. Perfect. Okay, let's try one more different broker. Let's have a look at, okay, this is the one I've been using for Volatility Master, but that doesn't matter. What matters is it's a different broker. This one is Envy FX broker, Envy LLC. So we already have UF30 up here. Let's come across here and find that in the Market Watch, open up specifications and have a look at the contract size, 100. Okay, so this is the contract size on Envy is 100 times larger than it is on Pepperstone. So what that means is that your lot size on Envy would have to be 100 times smaller than it is on Pepperstone. So just remember that it's 100. We'll come back to our pip calculator. Everything else is still the same, but we're going to have a contract size of 100, and let's calculate that. Now, you need to listen to this part because it's telling us 0.00403. We can only go to 2 decimal places though. Okay, the smallest lot size we can enter is 0.01. Okay, so 0.01 is about 2.5 times larger than 0.004 is. Okay, so we can't keep the risk as low as this. We're going to have to multiply this. The lot size it's telling us to use to incur a 2% risk is 0.00403. But we can't do that because you can't go that small on the lot size. The best we can do is 0.01. 0.01, I'm just using a calculator on my phone here. And if we, just give me 2 seconds. So I'm just using a calculator on my phone, as I said, if I put in 0.01, which is the minimum lot size you can enter a trade on the MT4. And if I divide that by 0.00403, I'm going to get 2.481. Okay, so my risk is going to be 2.481 larger than this, because that's how much more I'm going to have to enter. So multiply that by 2%. So using Envy on a $10,000 account, the minimum risk I can incur is 4.9% per trade. Okay, so that's something to be aware of when you're using different brokers. If the contract size is going to be 100, you most likely won't be able to keep the risk lower than 2%. So in this case, on a $10,000 account, the minimum risk I can incur is 4.96% per trade. So generally that's going to be much higher than people would want to use. If, on the other hand, I had a $100,000 account, then I could simply use 0.04 as my lot size, and I would be incurring a 2% risk. On a $100,000 account, I could even, incur a risk of 1% by going 0.02. So I could go down again. I could potentially get it right down to a 0.5% risk per trade if I had $100,000. But on just that $10,000 account, I can't. I hope that makes sense, guys. If anything that I've just said is confusing, let me know and I can redo the video, make some better clarifications. But even just working out simple things like, Euro USD, if we were to select that one, and, we've still got same size accounts, and same, like we've got a stop loss of 200 pips, for example, if we wanted a 1% risk. Contract size is always 100,000 on the Forex pairs. So you won't have to adjust that. It's always the same no matter what broker. And click calculate. Now we know that if we've got a $10,000 account and we're using a 200 pip stop loss, which on Trend Trader would be written as 2,000 in the settings, on Euro USD we would need to use a lot size of 0.03, only to 2 decimal places, and that would be a $100 risk, which is 1%. So if we wanted a 3% risk per trade, we just change that figure, click calculate, and now we need to use 0.09, 2 decimal places only. And so on all the Forex pairs, it's as simple as that. But this calculator is even better for Forex pairs simply because we can put in a risk percentage. We might want to risk 2.5% per trade. We can calculate that out precisely, 0.08. And when, let's say in a couple of weeks' time, our account balance goes up to 10,400, but we want to keep the same risk per trade, click calculate, and it's still actually 0.08, but because that's a 6, if we round it up, we could make that a 9. So as the balance grows, we can just fix up, increase our lot size bit by bit and keep the exact same risk percentage. All right, I think that covers it all. But as I said, let me know if anything there's confusing. Have a good one, guys.